We're going to get to the phone lines here. Let's get to Steve in Virginia, line 1. Steve, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning, John. Thanks for taking my call. On Friday, this is related to your first story there about the whole funding issue and the $1 million and all the mess in Minnesota. Back on Friday, I had asked you a question about something that I had heard about, and I went back to the person that had originally told me about it. Usually they have good information, and they said, because it was about this idea that 81 Republicans voted with Democrats to not strip $315 billion out of from funding for democracy promoting programs. This is a State Department thing. And you didn't know anything about it because it's like, well, when I went back to this person, I'm like, where'd you get this information? It turns out it came from an online, usually reputable, online news source that made millions into billions. So it's actually only 315 million. And Eli Crane, the Republican congressman from Arizona, had offered an amendment back Wednesday night for the government funding, so we don't go to a shutdown, and he wanted to strip 315 million out that was going to NED, the National Endowment for Democracy, which is a program that started back during Reagan, and it was a Cold War thing. And,
yeah, I got you, Steve. Speed this up. Get to the bottom line, please.
Okay. Well, the point is that we still have 81 Republicans that didn't want to get rid of a program that actually, gives money to people around the world that are, against democracy.
And you're surprised by that?
Well, it's typical swamp critter, behavior.
Here's my question, Steve. You're a really intelligent guy. You make good points when you call, and thank you for calling. You're surprised by that? Yes or no?
I wanted to correct what
Hello? Steve?
I wanted to correct what I said on Friday.
Okay. I'm not surprised by that. I would have been shocked had they stripped it out. This is what we're dealing with here. We're not, these are rhino, loser, scared of everything. They're afraid of everything. And so they vote your tax dollars into oblivion. Shouldn't be surprised at this. I mean, we have to win this battle with basically one guy, Trump. It's almost like the Buffalo Bills. You got one guy. You got the quarterback. That's all you have. You don't have a defense. You can't stop a pass. You can't stop a third down. You can't stop crap. You have no running game. You got one guy, Josh Allen. We got one guy, Trump. What are these people going to do? Joni Ernst yesterday and Mike Lee had to strip out $1 million that was going through with two liberal Democrats and Republicans in Minnesota voting for another $1 million for a scam for $1 million with a guy on top of a restaurant saying that he was doing vocational training. I mean, it's unbelievable. The fraud in this country is I don't know how you get to the bottom of this. And the Republicans don't have the balls to do a damn thing. They do nothing. And then you look at Virginia and that clown car that's going on there, and the Virginia House the Senate just passed this redistricting, which is going to give potentially the Democrats a 10-1 majority. Right now it's 6-5. They're going to gain 4 seats. Gone. And that's coming up in a referendum in April, and it'll pass 70-30. That's what's going to pass, because there's no plan to defeat it and no party. And now we're about to elect the chairman there, a 29-year-old with no experience doing anything, never had a job outside of government. I mean, it's unbelievable. And I understand Glenn Youngkin is backing him. It's just, we don't want to win. Do you want to win, Steve? Do you want to start winning?
Yes.
I want to start winning. We're surrounded by rhinos in the Republican Party who don't want to win. Part of me really believes they are so much more comfortable in the minority going on Fox News, complaining. I mean, it's unbelievable. They don't want to do anything. How could 85 Republicans vote in favor? I don't care if it's 365 million or 3 million. This is all a scam, but they're afraid. They're petrified. So here we are, Steve. Here we are. And your state of Virginia, your Republican Party, is about to elect a 30-year-old young fellow to lead a party out of that wilderness against a gain for referendum with no experience, no job, no business acumen, nothing. Nice young man. You might as well vote for my son, the ball player. He'll probably be better off. At least he can strike out a left-handed batter. Not that it matters. Unfriggin' believable. This is the state that we're in, and it's a sad state of affairs. I tell you what, I'm going to this winter meeting. I'm gonna be asking some tough questions, offline, right, off the record. Tough questions. Steve in Virginia, thank you, Steve. Thank you for the call. Always enjoy it. Very intelligent guy, Steve is. Johnny, Jersey, line 2. Johnny, you're live.
Hey, John. How you doing?
Never better.
So, yeah, it's, crazy what's going on. So my question is simple. I just want your opinion. Unless Trump is like, Biden level, which I don't think he is, he has to be aware of the problems with Pam Bondi. So what do you think is happening there? And are we going to get any movement? They're going to replace her? What are we doing? I've been calling for a year on this. So
you're right.
I kind of saw this. I saw this coming in February of last year. Listen, nice lady, has done some great stuff at the Supreme Court. She's just not a wartime AG. She's just not a.
She's not a wartime She's not a wartime conciliary, kind of like Tom Hagen in The Godfather.
100%. So the bottom line is what I'm trying to say is, she's done some decent stuff on the Supreme Court level, but she's just not getting it done. There's still a lot of swamp left in the DOJ. What are we doing here? Trump has to be aware of this. What's your opinion on this matter?
There's been no bigger supporter. There's been no bigger supporter in this movement of Pam Bondi than John Fredericks. I've supported her from day one. I've given her the benefit of every single doubt. I told everybody to give her time. I told everybody she's a lot tougher than meets the eye. But a year into it, she's not gotten it done. She's simply not gotten it done. And so it's kind of like, the Steelers with Tomlin. You got to move on. It's kind of like the Ravens with Harbaugh. 19 years, won a Super Bowl, great guy, great coach, but they got stale, and Bisciotti there decided he had to make a move. She's not getting it done. And there's really no other narrative here. There's not even a narrative like this or that. It's like you've had a year, you've not gotten it done for whatever reason. Maybe this just isn't the right role for you at the right time. Maybe in a different time you'd be fine. I don't see it. So I think they got to make a move here with her. I think you summed it up, Steve. They need a wartime conciliary. They got a Tom Hagen. That's really now where this is. And I love her to death. I wish her the best. I don't know what President Trump's going to do. I don't think he's going to do anything till after the midterms, but it's not been successful. And nothing will happen to Fry, and nothing will happen to Omar, and nothing will happen to the governor. Nothing will happen to anybody because nothing ever happens. Nothing will happen to the Clintons. Nothing ever happens. So I'm with you. But you know what? The reason I'm going to Santa Barbara next week is you learn a lot. You learn a lot. And then after that, I'm going to Iowa for a week, and I'm going to learn a lot on the ground in Iowa, on the bus, week of the 26th, starting in Des Moines. I'm going to talk to legislators. I'm going to talk to voters. I'm going to talk to activists. You learn a lot on the ground. You learn a lot. Tough to be holed up here in Washington, D.C. in the bubble. You get a certain perspective. That's why you got to get out. So, Steve, John in Jersey, you've been ringing this bell, sounding this horn. You're like Gabriel the angel, blown into the foghorn, and people like me have blown you off. And I got to tell you, you were right. Anthony was right, and you were right. We've done nothing. We're not going to do anything. And she just this might not be the right fit for her at the right time, if that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Bad as that sounds, I appreciate it.
It's a sad state of affairs, buddy. But look, we got 1 year, and we got to get stuff done. Otherwise, we lose. We got 1 year. And I'm optimistic. I think we're going to turn it around with this economy. But you got a year. Every day you waste is a day gone, right? All right, John in Jersey, we thank you. Anthony from the great state of Florida, the Sunshine State. And just telling me the other day, like, John, we got to buy something in Florida because because when the S hits the fan, and Democrats take control of this, you ain't going to want to be anywhere around here. Anthony, you're live.
No, John, I tell you, you triggered me with the Buffalo Bills thing. I like, can we super glue, tape, magnets, something? Can they hold on to the ball? Can you Buffalo Bills? Can you just catch the ball? That's it.
Catch the ball.
Catch the quarterback.
Catch the ball. Unbelievable. That game, dude. That game.
Catch the ball.
I had two tough losses this weekend gambling. I had the Bills plus 1.5, 5 turnovers on the road. How do you lose this game? And then that play at the end. And then, first of all, you got me triggered now. Because I really didn't get over that. I mean, I'm not a Bills fan, but I was rooting for Josh Allen because I like him. Plus, I had a big bet on him. I just couldn't believe it. And that play at the end, you're going to tell me that guy was down. That was a catch. That was the game. They kick a field goal. They move on. They beat Denver. They get to the Super Bowl. That was a catch. And then the referees once again decide the game. They let the men play for 3 7/8 quarters, right? Hand battling back and forth. They don't call anything. And then in the last drive, they call 3 PIs, 57 yards, and hand Denver the game. Unfriggin' believable. Yep. And that guy that caught that ball on the 20-yard, he was down. He had the ball. It was in his grasp. He was down on the ground with the guy on top. He just took it out of his head. That was a catch. When I saw it, I'm like, oh, this is going to get overturned. Buffalo was going to now hand it off 3 times and kick a field goal. They give it an interception. And then you get referees blowing whistles. I mean, or they're throwing flags at the end. No flags all game, but hey, let's let Denver win at home. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Pissed me off.
This is the state of our politics. Donald Trump, Josh Allen, the GOP, everybody else. This is where we're at. Like, it's just, Donald Trump is kicking butt all over the world, but domestically, I would like to. What's going on? Minnesota, it's fallen. You know the rage amongst the public, and the Somalians. They're going online, and they're like, stick it in your ear. I'm not gonna assimilate. Why would I want to assimilate? Why would I want to be American? Then why come here? Why bring your bulb-headed behinds over here? And it's like, where's the Insurrection Act? You look at a big thing of Pam, the stuff that you put on your sheet to make cookies slide off. They've got a picture of Pam Bondi and a spray can of Pam. Like, nothing sticks with Pam. You know how embarrassing that is? Donald Trump appointed this woman. I want my country to do well. I don't want to be right. I would rather be wrong. I would rather you be saying, yeah, Anthony, everything's going fine. I would love to be wrong. I would love this nation to prosper. But instead, look what we have. Look what's going on. And the politicians, they're just kind of head down doing nothing.
Nothing.
If Trump doesn't do something drastic, Insurrection Act, just do it, man.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the tweets. Just do something. Do it. It's not that hard. You're the president of the United States. Stop tweeting. Start doing. Do stuff, then tweet. If you can do it to Maduro, you can do it to Fry. You got mayors telling public to call the police on ICE. That's insurrection.
Yeah. No doubt, dude. No doubt about it. I mean, I got a clip here I'm going to play. Mike, liberal, let me find it here. Armed liberal man stands outside a home in St. Paul with a gun telling ICE to go away.
Dear God.
Imagine if a Republican did this. Go ahead. Cut to, roll it.
You live in the neighborhood?
Yep, this is my block, this is my area. I don't go into other people's neighborhoods and try and intimidate them. I protect my people.
Are you giving out your name?
No, I'm okay with that. Our neighborhood's showing up.
You guys had a lot of people out here, right?
At least 30 or more.
Yeah.
40 or 50.
That's pretty good for a quick turnout.
Okay, you guys couldn't see the video. There's a guy with a long gun, right? A guy with a long gun. I'm sorry?
It's an AR-15.
Guy with an AR-15 roaming around saying, I'm here to make sure ICE doesn't come. What is he going to do with his gun? Is he going to shoot them? I mean, can you imagine, Anthony, if this was in Florida? Remember the guy in St. Louis with his wife when the mob broke his fence? And he came out with a gun, and the guy, and they arrested him and tried to put him in jail and bankrupted the guy. He was a successful lawyer. Now he doesn't have a penny to his name, trying to defend himself because he came out with a gun. I mean, what was this guy going to do with this AR-15? What was the purpose of that? If you have a gun and you say, if ICE comes here, I'm protecting our people, what are you going to do with the gun, Anthony? What are you going to do with it? Why do you have it? And why is this okay? I mean, we got two sets of laws, two sets of rules, two sets of justice. There's one for them and the other for not them, us, whoever that may be. I mean, it's incredible, unbelievable. I mean, you just can't. I don't know where this country is going. I mean, could you imagine? I mean, just Anthony, I'm going to ask you this question. You're standing outside with an AR-15. You say on camera, I'm here to protect my neighbors against ICE. I'm slinging an AR-15 over my shoulder. What was the purpose of the gun, Anthony?
The purpose of the gun is to project violence. Plain and simple. If you come close, I'll shoot you. That's it. When you display a weapon like that, you are giving intent. Your intent is to let somebody know that you will protect your whatever with violence. You will protect your home or whatever with violence. When you display a weapon like that, open display, that it gives no other meaning or purpose than that. No other reason. So I mean, man, I tell you, John, our side, this is why our side loses, because there is no coalition of I'm a little 1%er. I'm on the extreme side, and you're kind of more moderate, not moderate, but you're more common sense. And there needs, my job is to protect people like you. But how can I protect you if you don't want my protection? And that's where our side loses. You can't go down there and say, well, I'm a constitutional lawyer, and put your hands on your, I'm a professor, and I know constitutional law. They'll throw you in the air like they'll bounce you all over the place.
So
unless there needs to be constitutional law and order.
Well, there just needs to be accountability. This guy with this AR-15 should have gotten arrested. He just should have gotten arrested. Like, why are you standing out here with an AR-15 claiming you're here to protect people against ICE? Like, what do you plan to do with this gun? Just like the guy in St. Louis. He didn't shoot anybody. He just went out protecting his yard with a gun with his wife, and they handcuffed him and put him in jail. So we got one set of rules in St. Louis and another set of rules in Minneapolis.
Cori Bush led that protest, and she used that to protect herself into politics. That's where Cori Bush came from. That very protest that she led right there.
I'm telling you, dude,
people.
this thing is a mess, and I agree with you. I agree with you on President Trump's tweets. Okay, like whatever. Okay, like this one after the other nothing gets done. The threats against Khamenei, if he starts killing people, something bad will happen. 16,000 people are dead. How many you need dead? 100,000? I mean, this is why I hate red lines. They never work. Yeah. Okay, there's always a red line, and then nobody does anything. It's like ridiculous.
Don't step across this red line. Okay, they stepped across it. Okay, that rebellion is crushed. So all you people like,
rebellion's over.
They've been there for a while. Like I said, they've been there since the 70s, since I was 10 years old. Mm-hmm. He's not going anywhere.
Right.
Let them handle their own business and deal with issues domestically. Yep. If you're listening, President, deal with issues domestically, or your legacy is finished.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree 100%.
Finished.
I agree. I don't think he should have gotten, talking about red lines, I really don't see what the purpose of that was. I don't see why he did it. And of course now, look, I was right about two things. 2 weeks ago, I had that Iranian resistor on, and I told him at the end of the day, dude, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. You come on my show every month, you jump up and down, nothing happens. Here's what's going to happen. They'll start shooting protesters, and they'll go back in their homes. And that'll be the end of it until the next time. You guys aren't going to do anything. The other thing I said is Mondami's army, he's just mobilized 4,000 activist paid volunteers through NGOs. He's activated 4,000 of them to fight ICE if they come in the city. I told you a month ago. This was Mondami's army. Right. I mean, I was 100% right, again, a month ahead of my time. Here he is, 4,000 ready to go, on payroll by some NGO. That's his army. Anything this guy doesn't want in New York City, he will flash mob the living bejesus out of it until council or somebody else caves. And this guy gets exactly what he wants, up to including money from the federal government, which will cave on that too.
And Trump invites him into the Oval Office. He invites
insane.
an admitted leftist communist into the Oval Office. You say you're never going to let a communist in there, but yet you let him in, you give him legitimacy and invite him under the White House grounds. He shouldn't have even been anywhere near the White House.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I'm just mystified.
Well,
oh, he's a nice looking guy.
I think this started with Pam Bondi hasn't gotten the results. I love Pam. She's a friend of mine, but you got to get results. I mean, she's not gotten the results, you know? Sean McDermott in Buffalo hasn't gotten the results. I mean, you got to win. She's not winning anything. And so after a year, you know, you just got to look at making a change. You got to do something. And that's why baseball teams in the middle of the season fire managers. You know, maybe it's not the manager, but you got to do something. You can't sit there and keep losing games in the 8th inning every night. You can't do it. You got to do something.
Yeah.
Oh, he needs to make a move.
Underneath Pam Bondi, because I'm told that he's a bit of a left. Who is the
Todd? Isn't that Todd Blanche?
Is I'm not too sure.
Anyway, somebody text that in. I think it was Todd Branch, but I don't remember. Anthony, I got to go. Thank you for the call.
Get him, brother.